Okay, I couldn't tell.
That's not my fault!
I assume I could hear you. I assume I could hear you. What? What, were you saying something about the girls? What? What, were you saying something about the girls? What? What? What, were you saying something about the girls? What? What?
I don't know why. He keeps getting sent to the Drak Let shadow.
What?
Start making up horrible stories about how I was kidnapped by the mafia. Go.
Now, why would I want to make up a silly story like that?
Like what?
Exactly. Now, why would I want to make up a silly story like exactly.
Like what? Because I gave you a challenge.
Exactly.
Now take it.
Now, why would I want to make up a silly story like exactly.
That?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to. Now, why would I want to make up a silly story like
You need
exactly?
more oomph.
Oh my I'm not that good. I don't want to.
That's why I'm teaching you how to get better. You need more oomph.
Oh my I'm not that
What
good.
you're only doing?
I want to.
Go into full-on Canadian emo. I say Canadian because you have to make your Reboot full-on Canadian emo.
We need to turn it up just so you can make
because
sure.
You have to make your Reboot full-on Canadian emo.
We need to turn it up. You're good.
Ow. This is mine now.
What did you forget? Yeah.
Nothing.
Were you gonna be echo?
Say nothing.
Were you gonna be
Nothing. Nothing.
Zip. Zip. Your.
When a problem comes along, you must zip it.
And hello, Rising Sun.
As soon as I show up, Drak goes away. I see how he feels about me. Rising, we need to have a talk. It's not you. It's me. It's me. Because you would take me to Taco Bell.
Say everything.
A what?
Say everything.
What is wrong with me? Everything. There you go. Let's see. Sure. Just to give you guys kind of a heads up. I did a lot of homework over the holiday season, and I was able to get a whopping 331 blood vials.
Nice.
Ready to go for... Now, granted, I did not fill it. That's halfway.
Well, yeah, but I said nice.
Mm-hmm. So, hopefully 300 will be enough. If it's not, then I don't know what to tell you guys. BlizzCon line happened. I don't even like the term. I'm just calling it BlizzCon from here on in. Are we cool with that? Are we cool with just BlizzCon?
Sure, why not?
Yup.
Your Twitch category says Final Fantasy.
I'm done fixing categories, people. I've done everything in my power to fix them. If it's not working, not my fucking fault.
And sorry, we promised that we were going to get back to Bloodborne, and we are going to stick to it.
Yep. Because I checked Twitch, and it was supposed to say Bloodborne. If it doesn't say Bloodborne now, not my problem. If you came here for Final Fantasy 15, I'm sorry. But you obviously came during a Bloodborne stream, and I'm done fixing everything. It's not my fault. Twitch sucks as far as being able to put proper categories up. I'm being so nice about Twitch right now. Don't worry. Me mocking YouTube's coming too. That's going to happen as well. Because I love the fact that...
Yeah, Restream can be weird.
This isn't Restream. This is Twitch. Twitch is being weird, not Restream.
I just can't read, so I'll stay.
Alright, cool. You can't read? That's even better. Because now I can make fun of you for that. Rising Sun can't read. There you go. No, YouTube's going to get some crap from me tonight, too, because I just barely put up our last live stream highlights for Last of Us Part 2. You've seen the thumbnail. People love the thumbnail. Do you want to know how I know? Because we actually had a surge of viewers when that came out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Which thumbnail?
It was the one I showed you of the infamous sex scene.
Oh, yeah, that one.
So I put that up, and the day that I put it up, I searched for it, and it came up first page. Now I search for it, and it comes up third page. So fuck you, YouTube.
Okay.
It means they throttled it. Because it was offensive. I'm going to tell you something that everybody has been telling you for quite a while.
Is The Last of Us Part 2 cheap enough for me to get it?
Probably not. Wait till the HBO series comes out and then... Oh, crap. I did not hit the right button. Ow!
Ow.
I'm having to get used to the buttons again.
YouTube decided that they didn't like my somewhat lewd thumbnail for my Perfect Blue anime review. Despite it fitting the anime perfectly.
Yep, so at that point, I'm calling bullshit. So anybody who wants to put up in my YouTube comments that I don't like them.
Ow!
Yeah, this was a fail. I'm okay with it. But if anybody wants to put up in my comments that like, wow, you guys are so great, I wish you were advertised more, I am literally going to put in the comments, blame YouTube for that. I thought the gameplay for Last of Us 2 was what was the most universally liked about the game. No. Actually, no, it was universally hated. Brain Trope, by the way, welcome back. Or welcome. Actually, I think this is your first time here. No, the gameplay... Most of the game is reviled. Most of the game is reviled. And frankly, I was one of the few people to say, like, unpopular opinion, Last of Us Part 1 played better than Last of Us Part 2. You were just talking to him in Discord. All right, well, then welcome. So I'm just going to say, you know, blame YouTube for that. Because they're the ones that throttled my video. Because they couldn't deal with me putting a thumbnail up of John Cena having sex with Neil Druckmann. And frankly, it was more like Neil Druckmann raping John Cena. Yeah, I think it's because you're watching the stream I sent me here and I clicked your stream link. Ha ha! My ingenious plan worked. Of putting a link in a Discord and then people come to it. It's almost like Field of Dreams is real. If you link it, they will come.
Did you guys watch any of the Nintendo Switch announcements?
Yeah, we got to go over that too. And we'll go over a little bit of each tonight because, you know, it's going to be us doing Martyr. If we can get to Amygdala, that'd be awesome. Andrea's not going to like this, but I have done no research outside of Amygdala because Amygdala, I think, is going to take a little while for us to get to. I know where to start the journey, but I'm a little unclear. It's been a while since I've seen the video as to how to get to Amygdala. So, I don't have an email about you, though, which confuses me. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You watched the last 5 minutes of it? Well... So you saw Splatoon 3, and that was about it.
I mean, I played The Last of Us 2, but I'm pretty sure from what I've heard, the gameplay at least was pretty good.
It wasn't.
That's your opinion, Drak.
No, that's not my opinion. That's fact. It becomes fact when not just me, but about 5 or 6 other reviewers say it. Actual credible reviewers. Okay, I want to make sure that I've got that routine done. Ow!
You probably need to start healing some more.
Your answer to everything is heal.
Yes, now drink.
You're not allowed to say anything about Sunny D until you say something different.
Mountain Dew.
Alright, I'll count that. Damn it! I keep on hitting the wrong button! There we go. Oh! Oh! That was a troll! You fucking troll! That's never happened. Bam! There we go. Okay, I'm going to ignore the chat for now because I want to actually, you know, make a concerted effort to kill this guy. So it's nothing against you guys. I just want to make a concerted effort to try and kill it. Screw you.
Yes, let's try and stab him and eat away his health.
Ow! 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 Oh, he took his sword out! Okay, that was not expected. Still doable, but... Now Drak is ignoring me. Fine, no Taco Bell. Hey, hey, hey! You had your chance to offer me Taco Bell Rising Sun. You lost that opportunity. It's not my fault. Okay. Though I sometimes just English wrong. Okay. Guys, what NGL? I think you've misread like every single comment I posted in the chat so far. I don't think so.
At least I've been reading it, but you know. But I was trying to make sure Drak can be able to beat this guy so we can actually move on to the next boss.
Yeah, we kind of get hassled because I focus more on the chat than I do on the boss fights, and that's why we get like 30 plus attempts on a boss fight. So it's partially my fault too.
Yes, it's partially your fault too.
But I'm blaming Andrea. Why?
Because I'm the side seat
Yes,
driver here.
because I can. And because she doesn't stop me. Oh, hi, Andrea. How are you? So, let's actually get into it. So, Nintendo Direct. Yeah, quite a bit of news there. So, I guess my question is, do you know what got announced, Rising Sun? And if so, were there anything you were excited about?
Well, I think
Same thing for you, Brain Trope. I'd be interested. Go ahead.
Well,
My list is long, so go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
There's not much for me to say, except for Skyward Sword coming to Switch.
Okay. Nothing else?
Just a new character introduced for Super Smash.
Yes, from the Xenoblade games.
Yeah.
Specifically Xenoblade 2, because Shulk is from Xenoblade 1. Octopath 2, but Final Fantasy Tactics looks dope. I love the fact that he's calling it that too. Because I was like, triangle, Octopath 2. You know?
I looked it up later and forgot what I cared about.
See, I'd have to dig out my phone to give you like the full-on list, but obviously let's get into the elephant in the room, because I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed that this wasn't...
I'm glad we have NMH3 release date.
NMH3. Oh, No More Heroes. Yes, that actually is great. I'm excited for that. Yes, I'm very excited for that, but a lot of people were disappointed. They thought this was going to be the Zelda 35th Anniversary Direct. Turned out not to be, but you did get, like, I hate to be the butthead in the room, but you technically did get Zelda news. And that was that you got Skyward Sword. But you also got that confirmed we will be having a discussion about Breath of the Wild 2 later in the year. Which is what I'm guessing is going to happen with the 35th anniversary.
Just start hitting them if you're not...
Side seat. Stop it. I want to make sure I have my buttons right. Okay, cool. I have my buttons right. No, I don't care. So my guess, and here's the thing. I want to point out to a few people, the 35th stuff for Mario, yeah, you got a little direct earlier on in the year, but then later on is what you got when you got the big 35th announcements, specifically like Mario 3D All-Stars. So just keep that in mind. I get it. Mario came out early in the year. Same thing with Zelda. Jeez, why can't I... Why doesn't that register? Yeah. So I guarantee you're going to get a Zelda 35th anniversary direct later in the year.
Breath of the Wild 2 news confirmed for later this year.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is not bad. Like, it. At least you have a date to say, okay, this is when we are to expect this. And I guarantee you that the Breath of the Wild 2 Direct will be the one that is the Zelda 35th. Because I have a feeling that the cornerstone of Zelda 35th is going to be Breath of the Wild 2.
I think Skyward Sword HD being $60 is ridiculous.
Yes, but it's Nintendo. You weren't going to get it for cheaper.
But I think it would be nice now that with Skyward Sword you have...
Although I have heard that the digital edition is going to be... Because they're going to do a physical edition. And the physical edition will be $60, but there's now some talk that the digital edition will be $40. And to me, that's dumb. Because that actually hurts people who love physical media. You know, like you and me. So that would be a bad idea as far as I'm concerned. That's punishing your old school audience for how dare they buy your cartridges. No booty. Ow!
The digital version is already up for pre-order and it's $60.
Okay.
So I guess it's still going to be the same price. Where did you get that info?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It was being discussed right after the direct, though. Hey, Sephiroth, stop launching meteors in my face.
Correction, it's skulls.
Side seat driver. Are we really going to be arguing semantics this entire time? Uh-oh. Oh, hold on.
Get ready to destroy that weapon in the ground.
Nope. We're not going to aim for the sword.
Oh, you're going to ignore it?
No, because he's the bigger threat. Like, if we conveniently end up next to the sword, we'll take it out. But, I guess one of the mechanics of this is that he kind of uses it as a lure. Hey,
died.
Yep. So, let me ask an honest question here, Braintrip. Why are you irritated that you're paying $60 for a Switch game? Is it just because it came out on Wii? I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just asking honestly why you're irritated at that. Because I get multiple answers with that. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with you. Me personally, I think Nintendo ought to refund me $60 for having to deal with the original Skyward Sword.
Well, I'm pretty sure back in the day that was what you had to deal with if it was on the Wii.
Yup.
So, can't fault them for that.
Yup. Doesn't mean I can't, imagine.
I mean, how else could you play a Wii game like without that?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, in an ideal world, I'd be getting refunded for having to deal with shitty motion controls.
It wouldn't have been bad if it didn't have to rely on a sensor bar, though.
It would have been.
Huh?
There's a reason the Joy-Cons are as good as they are.
Yeah.
Because they had to go through the bullcrap of early motion controls, which means, yes, that sensor bar. And also the fact that the gimbals in the Wiimote are, even in the pros, they were very iffy. There's a reason the Joy-Cons work, because they learn from that.
Oh, yeah. Hence why that Galaxy 2, or Galaxy 1, and obviously this new upcoming Skyward Sword is probably a lot more.
At that, well, and the other thing that I'm very happy about is that they finally realized one of the major problems that they had with it, especially if they were going to bring Skyward Sword to the Switch, in the fact that they had the Switch Lite exists. I'm sure you're glad about having the Joy-Cons work for our Switch for that, but they actually did make a control scheme that works with the Switch Lite, because the Switch Lite doesn't technically have Joy-Cons. It's technically just a handheld.
Mm-hmm. I never had a problem with Skyward Sword. I liked it quite a bit, but the option to have no motion controls is nice.
Yes. And that to me is the biggest thing they could have done. Because one of the biggest complaints about the original Skyward Sword is a lot of the mechanics looked like they could have actually been mapped. Hence why we had a GameCube version of Twilight Princess that played better than the Wii version of Twilight Princess. And when they made Twilight Princess HD, they emulated the GameCube version. The more light version. Son of a bitch. F you.
Didn't you say your brother was excited for Skyward Sword coming to Switch?
Yes. Although he was more skeptical about that announcement than I was.
Oh.
Because the announcement that he saw on Reddit that was, to him, the most logical was Zelda 3D All-Stars, which would have been Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess HD all in one.
Mm. Yeah. They should have just kept with Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess being the...
Well, because to me, the 3D All-Stars, I take Ocarina of Time out and I put in Skyward Sword. Because,
oh, that's what, yeah.
Because Ocarina of Time got highlighted in the previous Zelda collection. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to highlight it again. However, I did like the rumor that a lot of people were talking about that they were going to merge Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D into a Switch game. Mm-hmm. Into one Switch game. That, to me, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I would agree. But when I played Skyward Sword as a lefty, I just held the Wii remote in my left hand. But since motion swings are locked in the right Joy-Con, I'll probably have to play with button controls since I can't just switch the Joy-Cons.
Well, yeah, because the Switch is preloaded. You can't change your dominant hand, which is going to be irritating as hell to me because I'm also left dominant. But that's the fix, as far as I'm concerned, is that you map the buttons to controls. Because frankly, there are things I'm not going to want to try and mess around with on motion controls. The sword was one of them, but more importantly, that goddamn beetle. There's no way I'm going to do motion controls to control that goddamn thing, because it never worked, and it never resonated with the Wiimote. And so at that point, the fact that I have a mapping control, because they've kind of confirmed afterwards that it will work like the sword's controls, mapped to the right analog stick, that was a good idea, as far as I'm concerned. Because it wasn't the sword I was worried about. The sword was actually satisfying. It was that goddamn beetle. And the beetle was used in everything!
Well, it's not that they emulated the GameCube version, it's just that they didn't force motion controls like the Wii one. The only big difference...
No, they emulated the GameCube version.
The only big...
The Wii U Twilight Princess HD is the GameCube version.
I didn't even know that existed on the GameCube.
It did. Came out for both.
The only big difference between the Wii and the GameCube, besides the motion controls, is the flip view to put the sword in Link's right hand for the Wii version. And the beetle worked fine for me.
Oh no, it was shitty for me. I hated the goddamn thing. Anything motion controls. So basically, if it was a boss that involved motion controls, if it involved puzzles that involved motion controls, I hated it. Because I had and I made sure I had a good Wiimote Plus, alright? I had the Zelda Skyward Sword one, but I also went out of my way and I got another one because I'd heard that the Skyward Sword one that you used was actually inferior. I actually had some fairly good sessions with it, but I heard that it was inferior. So I got a legit Plus, and I still couldn't get it to work.
What was
and
wrong
I've seen a number of different complaints about that. One was that my Wii was older, and therefore didn't really respond well to the Plus. I don't know. What part did you not get, Andrea?
Well, I'm just saying.
If it involved the sword... If it involved the beetle.
No, I'm just saying, what was wrong with the remote that you got me?
I didn't... The Zelda one? No, that came with Skyward Sword.
Yeah, but
I didn't get it for you, sorry.
Well, I meant the one that you said that I was using. What was wrong with that one?
Well, I was told that it was inferior as a Plus. I don't know if that's accurate, because, again, I played certain sessions with it, and I didn't have issues. It was as responsive as my other Plus.
Oh.
It's not better, it was as. Also, aiming. There are two games on the Wii library that I absolutely hated playing, and I hope that the Switch does them better justice. Skyward Sword and Metroid Prime 3. Fuck that game to hell and everything in between, because I thoroughly am convinced I got carpal tunnel playing that goddamn game. Sorry. I'm doing it again. But I am also going to say, Splatoon 3, I'm excited for. Because I actually like Splatoon. But I will say my one gripe. Please bring Splatoon 1 to Switch. Because there was actually a really fun campaign involved in that game, and I'd like to have it.
Maybe they were afraid to bring those to the Switch if they didn't think the third one would do well, so they probably...
Which one?
Well, if they're bringing Splatoon 3...
Splatoon 2 went came for Switch.
Oh, then I don't know.
It just wasn't a huge improvement. It didn't really have a campaign. It was mostly built towards multiplayer. Which is fine. Like, Splatoon multiplayer is fun. But, you know, its gimmick kind of ran dry because you didn't really add anything new to it. But the reason I say that is because the Wii U original game had an awesome little campaign that was an interesting new take on how to do platforming within a shooter. And I'd like to have that. Because here's the thing, I'm already seeing people talk about the Wii U's lifespan, and it's already beginning to make me worry. We've already had to replace some things on our Wii U.
Well, I'm kind of glad at least we got the spare parts, you know.
Oh, we're going to need more, too. So, I mean, at that point, like, I'm really worried about that. And so if I can get as many of the games that we had on Wii U on Switch, that'd be great. So that I can basically, when they actually shut down the eShop, we can just go and grab a bunch of Virtual Console games, and that's pretty much how a lot of people are keeping their Wii U's, is just keeping them as Virtual Console machines. Mm-hmm. Which I'm okay with. Because right now, there are a bunch of games that are being offered on it that aren't being offered on the apps for Switch. Okay, let me go into my list here so you guys can see like what I was excited for in the Direct. So, wrong list. I had to list things out for my brother because like he was really down on the Direct because it didn't have a whole lot of what he was interested in. So the ones that I'm walking away excited: Skyward Sword, Splatoon 3, Pyra and Mythra for Smash, Ninja Gaiden, even though that technically is coming out for PS4 as well, and I think PS5, I'm excited that Sigma Collection is happening. Fall Guys for Switch. We're both happy about that because now we can play Fall Guys on Switch. No More Heroes 3, and like I said, Triangle Octopath 2. It's Triangle Strategist. Legend of Mana being redone for Switch. That was amazing to me. And also the Famicom Detective games coming. I'm actually really excited about those. So, happy about that. So those are all the games that I walked away with that I was happy they're coming out. And I think, yeah, No More Heroes 3 was in there. I've also even heard talk that they're considering bringing... So Pikmin 3 Deluxe, I guess, did fairly well considering. They're talking about bringing Pikmin 1 and 2 to Switch. And I would love that, because the Pikmin games are also really cute and fun. Okay, Martyr. Okay, concentration time. Bam! Okay.
Oh, that would have been a good time to shoot him. Woo!
That would be as well.
Dang.
I hate this goddamn ball. F you too.
Too bad you couldn't throw him off the side.
Sorry, concentration.
No, that's fine. Gee. exploded. Back up. Hello, RPX.
Welcome.
They should call Octopath 2 something like Tripath Tactics. Something that alludes to
Well,
both
what I'm worried about is Octopath Traveler was also a prototype name, and eventually it just became Octopath Traveler. So at that point, the fact that they've called it Triangle Strategy, or Strategist, that's the name.
And Final Fantasy Tactics instead of the current name, which is just awkward.
We don't even know if it's based in the Tactics universe. That's the thing. We don't know if it's based in Ivalice, so why call it Final Fantasy Tactics if it's not?
You never know.
Because, you know, Tactics Advance. I know Tactics Advance 1 did well, but 2, to my knowledge, didn't.
Yep, it's been a while, RPX.
It has. It's been a while.
Maybe you should send Drak some Klondike bars. For good old times.
I don't know if I deserve Klondike bars.
For good old time's sake.
I don't know if I deserve Klondike bars. I've been a bad, bad boy, RPX. Been very bad. I haven't been able to get Thursday streams going again. We've had so much trouble getting Bloodborne going. I was this close to canceling tonight too, because my back was killing me, and thankfully Andrea, in her wonderful patience, because she's a lovely wife, she did bath time while I went and rested on a heat pad. Which, if I haven't thanked you enough about that, Andrea, thank you. That was so nice of you.
I don't know about the voice acting in Triangle Strategy is A1.
I'm not going to judge it just yet, because here's the thing. Octopath isn't necessarily like AAA caliber either, but I like it. The only thing that made me irritated was I wish that they would have voiced more of the game than they did. And Triangle Strategy, this is a first trailer. We haven't been able to hear, like, I couldn't hear a lot of the voiceover in it, because the music was just pounding through. So, I'm not going to judge it right off the bat. To me, it's on par with Octopath, and Octopath isn't horrible. Trust me, I've heard horrible. I've heard horrible. Food Wars English dub.
Got hit with a blizzard here in Michigan.
I'm not surprised at that.
Man, it feels like forever we got a little snowstorm on our end, too.
Yeah, it wrecked our week, too. And we weren't even in, like, places like Texas.
Oh, you should have front stabbed that guy when he was down.
I'm not that good at that.
So I've been out MIA for a while.
That's alright, we kind of have to.
Yeah. You're not the only one.
Yeah, we had snowstorm issues here as well, and the other problem too is that whenever it's actively snowing or actively raining, it does actually affect our freaking latency. And so trying to stream a podcast or something like that are actual, like, murder. Okay.
Texas got that, like,
Oh yeah, I got
cornflake snow that melts in a few hours, and they all went into panic mode.
Kind of, yes. It's kind of funny, but Dang it, I thought that canceled it out.
Best to stay away from his attack like that.
See, what's weird is like that's the sword he puts in the ground.
Yeah.
He's wielding it right now, and the sword effect is going on. I think I bugged him. So yeah, I was totally excited for the Direct. Oh wow. Okay, let me get to this one. I'll be honest. There has to be something really engaging about a game outside of its difficulty if I'm going to play through a hard game. Like, I loved a lot about Celeste. I liked Celeste too, and it was hard but enjoyably challenging game. But something like Dark Souls, there just isn't anything for me to really click with in the game to keep me engaged. So its difficulty just doesn't make me want to play it. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm totally with you. I was with you for a long time. I played the original Demon Souls. Hated it. Absolutely hated it on PS3. I murdered the game. I eventually sold it to my brother because he kept badgering me about it. And then I tried Dark Souls, the first Dark Souls, 5 times before we did our live stream run together. And I'll tell you 2 things that made it more enjoyable to me. One, don't play it alone. Just don't play it alone. One of the reasons I have the patience that I have right now is because me and Andrea can giggle about it. I know it looks like I'm being really mean to Andrea. Trust me, I'm not. If I was doing this crap and Andrea didn't like it, she'd be telling me. And frankly, like, both her and me kind of agree. You know, I do get a diverted focus, so that's why I shush her, because, like, I'm trying to concentrate.
Yeah, I know.
So that'd be one thing I would say. The other thing, too, is, and I also want to heavily emphasize this as well. Yes, it's difficult. But why it works for me and why I actually continue to play it, and in essence, why I also play games like Monster Hunter, is I have done WoW raiding for years. And when we had our first kid, I had to stop because I didn't have time. I thought I could do it. I thought I could be able to do raiding plus be able to handle a kid, and it never worked out. And so what this is that it's kind of a happy substitute because I get that same boss kill high that I used to in Dark Souls compared to WoW. And again, I can't raid. So that's where these games have actually come into play and been fairly enjoyable. So it's not that I don't understand your I'm just giving you my aspect of why I'm here, why I like playing this game. Well, Texas's power went to shit from the weather and dozens of people died, so I'd say the panic was warranted. Dozens of people died?
Well, we heard...
Last time I saw a death count, it wasn't that high.
Well, I remember we were...
Maybe 1 dozen, but it wasn't dozens.
Well, I did recall, we were questioning on whether, why that was, but then we heard that, yeah, they had power issues going on, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense,
I still, and this is going to sound mean, and I'm not meaning for it to be mean, but there are a bunch of people in Texas who basically saw a foot of snow, enough to make a footprint, and immediately went, it's the end of the world! And I'm sorry, but adding panic on top of a bad situation never helps.
Well, actually, I remembered that I had this one teacher in, one of my classes in college that I think she lived in, an area where they didn't get very much snow. Mm-hmm. Pretty much at all or so.
Do you remember where?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think she said I think she canceled our class because there was just barely a little bit of snow on the ground. And it's like, really? This is barely,
yeah.
Not. Darwin working overtime. Well, I think because she didn't like driving in snow at all.
And that I can understand.
But it was... Whoa.
Wow, I lost track of them.
No. Oh, you just stabbed.
It's not working out. It's not timing it right. Whoa. Jeez.
Heal.
Darwin working overtime. Yeah. Yeah, I had those kinds of college professors too. I remember one professor I had, he was from California. So never, like, always from, I think he was from, like, Venice Beach or Long Beach, one of those. Never saw snow. And what was funny is like, he loved skiing and snowboarding, never wanted to drive in snow. And so at that point, like, as soon as we saw, like, and that year when we had it, it was one of those bad winters. I want to say it was the year the Final Fantasy 13 came out. Because I had a class right next to his, and that class would always be going. Because dude was from Park City. Like, you can't phase people from Park City. And so, yeah, that would happen. And dude would just, like, freak out. He'd cancel class. And I remember the administration of Slick actually got on his case. Because he had to make sure that he was in at least maintaining office hours. And he was, like, saying, "Fuck you, man!" God damn it. Are we going to do this again?
We got hit with a good 16 inches, and it was just another Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like something that Michigan would deal with. Even you guys are really close to the Great Lakes, so extra moisture. See, this is why in a lot of cases I love the jokes that were coming out. Is like, people in Texas. Oh my god, it's a foot of snow! People in New Hampshire. Deal with it. You know? Actually, no, it wasn't New Hampshire. It was like, I think it was Minnesota or Wisconsin, one of the two. I have a lot of friends who live in Wisconsin and Minnesota, and so at that point, I get to see those on Discord quite a bit.
Dude, I was hoping that, you know, from here on out, if we were going to have weather issues like that, I would just hope it would be just rain.
Nope. Nope, because that's what you want.
You don't want snow.
We covered this. You want it, ergo Mother Nature ain't going to give it to you.
The snow can stay in the mountains for all I care.
Mother Nature is going to make sure it stays anywhere but the mountains. Now that you've said that.
Then we might as well move to the mountains.
I think at that point, we might as well move to, like, Texas. Ow. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be against moving to Texas, but I am kind of a homebody.
Yeah, because all the family's here.
We could keep a summer home we can keep a summer home in Texas.
I called
a winter home in
I
Texas.
called my boss asking if it's bad enough to call it a snow day.
I mean, does the medical profession get to call a snow day?
Well, that's what RPX says.
I know, that's why I'm asking. Like, does the medical profession even get to do that?
No.
I didn't do that because I didn't hear you. It's one of those things why me and Anne-Marie were giggling today, because she had to go in for her COVID screening, which is kind of stupid in my opinion because she's already been vaccinated. So she had to go and do her screening, and I was just like, bad news, you're positive. And she's like, oh, darn. Oh, darn.
What am I gonna do for 14 days?
I know, right? Like, what on earth will you do? "14-day streaming marathon. I'll put you to work."
14 days of catching up on games.
Silly Andrea, you know the girls aren't gonna let you do that.
He asked, can you see your... He asked, can you see your car? I said, yeah. He replied, then bring your ass to work.
Yep.
Like everyone else.
Oh, jeez.
My goodness.
We've very rarely gotten to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Can you see your car? Then get it out. Although I will say that this winter's been a lot better because we both have got SUVs, so we don't actually have to dread snow. Aside from we don't want to drive in it. I've done my time. I've driven in snow. So as much as it's fun talking about snowstorms and whatnot, should we get into BlizzCon? BlizzCon line. BlizzCon. So a couple big announcements there. We got a big WoW patch, but I want to say that this is basically... This BlizzCon was what 2018 should have been, and been nothing but Diablo announcements. And I still stick to my guns that if they had announced Diablo Immortal alongside Diablo 4 and Diablo 2 Resurrected, it would not have been such a big problem. Son of a bitch. But no, they decided to hold those back, even though now we know they actually did have some kind of conceptual trailer for both 4 and 2 Resurrected. And they did absolutely nothing. And bring me a McMuffin. Thank for asking me that dumb shit. Yeah, I've had those bosses. I've been that boss. So, yeah, this was basically the Diablo BlizzCon, as far as I'm concerned. Because, yes, there was a Hearthstone expansion announced. The Blizzard Arcade Collection got announced, which I know a lot of people are excited about. Basically, all of their old Super Nintendo games are going to be available, and they're going to make them available. So both Lost Vikings games, Blackthorn, Rock and Roll Racing, they'll all be available. But we got a Hearthstone expansion, we got a patch announcement for WoW, and then Diablo 4 got the announcement of the Rogue, or as I like to call it, the Ears Are Us trailer. Diablo 2 Resurrected got announced, as well as more information on Diablo Immortal. Still not sure what I think about that game. Why on earth?
Are you just pushing the wrong button?
No, I'm pressing the right button.
Do I need to look it up again?
No! I told you. I know what the button is. It's just for some reason, it's not acting like I'm connecting.
Ow. What button was it?
It's the same basic attack button.
Oh! Whoa!
Bye! Actually, I was doing pretty good there. So I will say this. I am excited for Diablo 4. The Rogue looked very good. It looked like a really cool fusion of Diablo 2 Rogue mixed with Diablo 3 Demon Hunter. So I like that. Diablo 2 Resurrected looks good. However, I now have a big question mark on my head about it. And that's with the developer who's working on it. Vicarious Visions. People might remember the name. We talked about it, or I think we talked about it on the podcast a while back, that Blizzard had acquired Vicarious Visions, which originally did the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remakes, for Activision. So it sounds to me like this acquisition was more along the lines of Activision saying, no, you must have these people in your staff. And so my concern is you are having the people who worked on a skateboard game do a resurrection or a remake of Diablo 2, probably considered to be the best Diablo game ever to come out. You're not going to have a Blizzard internal team work on that. That seems weird. And what's funny is that I follow a lot of former Blizz devs, and they're also questioning it as well. And going, why aren't you bringing people from Blizzard internally to go work on Diablo 2? Because a lot of them wanted to work on a remake of Diablo 2. So, it sounds to me like Activision meddling, and therefore I'm a little worried about that. Immortal, I still have lots of concerns. I'm still irritated that it's mobile only. Because again, you're alienating the Blizzard fanbase, and the Blizzard fanbase is PC gamers. I get that the technical alpha worked, and fine, but PC? Really, consider PC. We can't, it's just a mobile game. Don't you guys have phones? You could consider it. And if you haven't considered it, it tells me you have learned absolute jack shit from BlizzCon 2018. Yes, a majority of Blizzard's fan base is PC Master Race. See? I'm doing it.
Are you close enough? Because
I'm trying to close the gap, and it when I have, it still says I have it.
maybe your controller's dying out.
No. I just barely charged it.
Well, I meant like some of the buttons are not working.
That wouldn't matter. There you go. It worked.
Because I noticed sometimes if I played games on it, like it sometimes doesn't always react all the time. So I wonder if like one of the buttons is stuck.
Well, and I guarantee you another thing that's doing it is he keeps hitting me too, which kills time out of it.
True.
And by the time I actually close the gap, he's
Already up.
already up, yeah. Oh, well, that explains it. We can no longer stab Uli. I thought I had more bullets. Oh god, am I gonna have to go back to farming to get fucking bullets? Please don't tell me I have to go farm bullets. Where is it? Oh. So while I will say that some things were cool at BlizzCon, obviously not all of it was. In fact, one of the things I'm laughing at is... I have to explain this a little bit so Andrea is on the same page. So, you know this. The ending event of BlizzCon is that they have a concert.
Yeah.
Where they bring out a musical guest and they rock out to some of their favorites. New Indigo comic to check out, Shotgun Samurai. Okay, thanks, RPX. So they do this, and this year they invite Metallica to do the event. And Metallica's rocking out, and if you were watching on YouTube, this apparently wasn't a thing. But if you started watching on Twitch, the system, I guess, took hold and said that obviously BlizzCon is using copyrighted music. And blocked out Metallica and instead put some generic rock music in there. So for people who are watching to listen to Metallica, on Twitch, they didn't get that. Because instead they got generic music. Because the Twitch algorithm is stupid. So they find out later that happened. And Metallica's reaction was, oh, we're okay with that. The fuck? You're okay with that? People came to listen to you, not to generic music, Metallica. Have you guys just lost your fucking mind since Napster? I mean, I'll be one of the first people to say Saint Anger wasn't the greatest album ever. I can honestly not think of a song that I absolutely loved from that. But have you just lost your fucking minds? People came to see you, and it was offered free. Blizzard paid you to do that. You were bought and paid for.
I had to work a Metallica concert. Lots of flamethrowers in the middle of summer.
And women running around naked, and men as well. Yeah, that's what it's Metallica. But I just love the fact that, like, even Blizzard's not mad about it. You're just like, well, it's Twitch. No! Motherfuckers! If this was BlizzCon, like legit BlizzCon, where people paid to see Metallica, and you pulled this shit, you would have a torrent of hate on your hands, and deservedly so. Because some people pay to just see their favorite band play at BlizzCon. I mean, I'm still not of the opinion that anybody paid to see Jay Moore at BlizzCon, but okay. Nothing against Jay Moore, I just tend to find him a little bland when it comes to comedy. I think he's had some good moments, but, you know, that's from other writers. Like, for example, I love the Scrubs gag he got to do, but from what I understand, it wasn't his gag. It was the writers on Scrubs that wanted to do that, and that's why it was hilarious. But Metallica? Like, Metallica, you've played BlizzCon before. Are you saying BlizzCon's been in the wrong for all the other times you've done BlizzCon? I think it's time for you to retire. I officially don't have an issue saying that now. I think it's time for you to fucking retire. Oh, and I just saw somebody leave off of our YouTube. Are you mad that I'm making fun of Metallica? Yes, they're a bunch of old farts. It's one of those times where I legit want to do the okay boomer joke. Okay, I'm going to do one more run and then we should have another bunch of bullets to work with. Oh my gosh. Like, what do you think about that, Andrea? If you paid to go to a concert, and then all of a like, if you paid on Twitch to go see a concert, and all of a sudden it gets copyright struck, and all you get is basically, because when they say generic rock music, it's elevator music. That's what it is. Like, their generic stuff is their generic stuff is elevator music. Mm-hmm. So would you be a little irritated if you paid money to see Metallica play, and instead you got glorified elevator music?
Probably.
Yeah.
Their lead singer has a hearing aid.
Well, yeah, he does, but part of that is also because of the lifestyle. He's also an old fart. But, you know, I remember a golden time when not all of Metallica agreed with Lars Ulrich on the whole Napster thing, and in fact, one of them was like, I mean, we're getting the attention out of it. And that was, I want to say it was the lead singer that said that, but I might be wrong, because he seems to be like Lars's lackey. I'll tell you exactly why I've never paid to go to a Metallica concert. Dudes are assholes. I love the people who say, like, no, before they dealt with addiction and all that, they were really cool. No, they really weren't. They were assholes. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that they didn't make good music. They did. And I still love songs like Enter Sandman, but okay, I was gonna say bullshit. They did make good music. I'm not gonna deny that. Have you ever heard Metallica, Andrea?
No.
Is this because your mom thought rock music was of the devil?
No, I just don't care for too much of that kind of stuff.
How on earth did we get married? Because you have to deal with that all the time now.
Why, you like that?
Yeah. I've liked it ever since I was a kid, because my older brother and sister would listen to it. We woke up to Enter Sandman in the house.
Mm-hmm. Well, just...
Which my dad was always pissed off about, because he had to get up earlier than everybody else, so he was enjoying the quiet, and then all of a sudden, exit night!
Well, I'm pretty sure most of us in our house, we didn't listen to that kind of stuff very often.
Not even your older brother? That would be shocking to me if we're talking about your older brother.
Well, if my older brother, who knows?
Okay. Yeah, my older brother had like a stereo system attached to his alarm clock. I don't know how he made it work, but it was the coolest thing ever. And then he would have it at like 70% volume.
Really?
Yep, when it woke him up. And I think his excuse was like, that was the only way you could get him to wake up. And even I've heard in the early years of his marriage to his wife, he had to have, if people know what like the worst sound ever from Dumb and Dumber is, he actually had to program that into his alarm clock because it was the only thing that would wake him up. So all of a sudden at like 6 a.m.
I'm more of a
Motorhead fan. I got that. In my house, it was like, it was Metallica, Savatage, Queensryche, Def Leppard, Some Nirvana. Some Nirvana. I remember when I expanded into things like Green Day, and the less said about that, the better. I was going through a phase. Don't hold that against me, because I can't stand Green Day now. No token? I don't think so. Doesn't sound familiar. Oh, and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And the funniest thing is that, you know, my older brother actually did a lot of that stuff. My sister now has, like, even more. She expanded out to a lot of hair metal before she got into vocals instructing and had to have everything music related. She was actually surprised one day when one of her male students wanted to sing like the dude from Death Clock, and she had to go look up Death Clock. She's like, "What's Death Clock?" And I knew what Death Clock was because I'd seen Metalocalypse, but I was like, "Are they an actual band?"
WASP.
Oh, and Poison. Poison was also in our house. We paid our collective sins for having Poison in our house, so don't worry about it. All except for me, but that's just because I refused to pay for something that wasn't me. It's not my fault. I'm not the one who picked out the CDs.
Heal while you have a chance.
That actually worked out well. And then, what was the other one that we had? Rock You Like a Hurricane. The band that made that. Because I remember growing up to that. Oh, and Alice Cooper? Yeah, Alice Cooper. School's out for summer. And now I cannot see any of these former bands, any of their people on TV. I can't even see Ozzy on screen anymore. Like, I used to watch the Osbournes, just because Ozzy was the only reason to watch that show. But now I feel bad. It's like, it's Ozzy fucking Osbourne, and they're making him look like an idiot. It's like one of those cardinal sins I will never be able to forgive reality TV for. Is like, you know, love or hate Ozzy Osbourne, like, he defined music in his time.
Really?
Kind of. I mean, he did some controversial things, but, I mean, he did actually have some good songs here and there. But now it's just like everybody knows him for the Osbournes. And that's him in, like, his post-drug era, you know? Have you ever seen an episode of The Osbournes, Andrea?
I've probably only seen bits and pieces, but not...
Yeah, this is basically... Give me a second and I'll do it. This is an example of an episode of The Osbournes. Why are they out in the backyard pissing everywhere? You got to bring the dogs in. Oh, Ozzy, I won't do that. Sharon, you got to fucking do that. And then he'd go off on an F-bomb raid. And then eventually it would end up in him going out in the backyard. Dude walks around like a 70-year-old man. I think he was in his 50s. And he's trying to get the dogs out of the backyard. Sharon, you should be out here fucking helping me. Sharon, you know, like he looks like he's gonna break a hip. And that's like 80% of the gags on the Osbournes. You know, love or hate Ozzy, you know, he defined music for a lot of people, and now he looks like shit. Most musical artists in that time now just they all look like that because, you know, all the crap they were doing. And those are the ones that were famous. Think about the ones that were like mid. Those ones are in retirement homes now, and you probably are dealing with.
Probably.
Now, sir, if you had just not done all that cocaine, you would have been just fine.
I'm actually kind of surprised that RPX makes it sound like he knows a lot of the bands I was talking about, because every time I mention them to other rockers, like, Sabotage, who the hell is that? I only know, like, the... Crap, I can't remember the...
Get back!
I can't remember the name. Was it the Ramones? Dude who married Pamela Anderson. It was his band. Like, there's like, I know that one, and I know David Bowie, and Metallica, and Nirvana, and REM, but... Oh, and I also should give popular mention to Stan Bush, because F all of you if you think he's a bad singer, because that is the singer that defined my life.
Oh, really?
Yes. For one song, and well, two songs. 2 songs only. Never listen to anything else from Stan Bush. I don't need to, because those two songs defined my life. I'm going to give it a minute and see if anybody can figure out which one of those, which songs are those. Considering what I talk about. Obviously, RPX is either as old as me or older than me, so he should know.
I don't even know.
He's a singer from 1986.
I wouldn't know him.
Of course you would. What did your mom allow you to listen to? Nothing but classical?
Well, I didn't have an interest in a lot of listening to different things like
You
that.
did not. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised by that. And the funniest thing about that now is that you must listen to video game music. And some classical. Hey, don't knock me on that. You're the one who takes your iPod to work and plays it so loud everybody else can hear it.
I don't listen to
I can't remember who it was, but one of your coworkers actually asked me, he was like, does she know that she's playing the music that loud? And she's only playing one song.
And how long ago was that,
Before Aria was born. No, because you were at your current job. So Aria might have been born. Did I not tell you about that?
No.
Because your coworker was not happy with the answer I gave. I was like, I don't care. She can listen to whatever she wants. Because she kind of made it sound like she wanted me to chastise you. And you're like, no. Am I really anybody to talk? Because now, most recently, I listen to a lot of anime music, and...
It's like, well, it helps me think of while I'm working.
And see, now you know why I have to have that auditory distraction during the day. Gives me such crap that while I'm editing, I'm also doing like YouTube video. Like I also have a YouTube video on in the background, which is usually like a podcast. Ow! You suck.
Ooh, there's your blood, or that little spot where your souls are, or whatever it is. Yay, your blood echoes. That's what it was called.
Nope.
Be careful, don't jump off the side.
I'm being as careful as I possibly can be.
You gotta figure out how to do the second phase.
Right next to the damn sword. I should have taken it out. Oh, and one other thing I also want to mention. Thanks, Kotaku. Two silly stories that I really hope make the podcast agenda this weekend, but probably won't. One is there's a reboot of Mortal Kombat. Did you know that coming? Mm-hmm. So the first trailer for that Mortal Kombat reboot came out. And there was an actual reporter, I crap you not, Andrea, who immediately chastised the director for not putting Chun-Li in the film. Because she's such an icon of gaming. For those who didn't get it, I'm going to give you a minute to figure it out. She chastised the Mortal Kombat movie director for not putting Chun-Li in the movie.
Really?
Andrea's already got it. So give me a minute. Give people a minute. Do you see the problem in that, Andrea? If you don't, then can we even say that we're married? What?
I'm just saying.
Come on, the name Chun-Li doesn't ring a bell for you?
Is it just because of what the person's wearing?
No.
Then why do I care?
Because they're chastising her for the director of Mortal Kombat for putting Chun-Li not putting Chun-Li in the film. Well, I'm working on this. I'm going to let you guys think about that. That'll work. Yep. Ow! Oh. Damn it. Okay, if any of you guessed... No, put it back on.
What? I was just reading.
Have a good one, RPX. If any of you guessed that because the reason that the Mortal Kombat director didn't put Chun-Li in the film was because she's not in Mortal Kombat, you get a gold star. In fact, Chun-Li is from the Street Fighter series, not Mortal Kombat.
Why were they
That's
gonna...
why she's not in the movie, dumbass journalist. A simple Wikipedia search could have told you that. That's why I'm calling you a dumbass. What?
Yeah, I don't know why they would. Where they got that idea.
Because they wanted to be pretentious, and they wanted to hold something over that movie director. And so, since Chun-Li is a leading female character that a lot of people know in gaming, they immediately assumed that they were left out because women. Not for the fact that they're not in the damn franchise. Gotcha, journalism at its finest. Dumbass. That's one story that was amazing to me. The other one is why I am pre-ordering Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy. Can you take a wild guess as to why that's happening?
Because you were saying something about someone who was working on that was like...
You ruined it. Yes. So, Kotaku is butthurt because one of the devs that's working on it used to do those hateful, horrible, anti-social justice YouTube videos. Eek. And what's even better is that reporter has since gotten a huge amount of replies to her basically saying, "Oh, cool, I'll go ahead and pre-order it. Thanks." That's why I joined it. I'll go ahead and pre-order Hogwarts Legacy because it'll piss you off.
What, the person didn't think that people shouldn't pre-order this?
No, they thought the game should be canceled because
Oh.
they had the evil anti-SJW YouTuber working on it. So Andrea got some good news today. It's like, I'm pre-ordering Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, cool. Why? Because Kotaku hates me for it.
I think you could
Sorry, second phase. I'm trying to concentrate.
roll away.
That's what I was trying to do. So yeah,
I wonder how easy if you could just shoot the sword, you know, when it's in the ground versus trying to run up.
you
and...
can't.
Have you
I
tried?
had that thought, and that's why I watched a guide. Because, man, that would have been a really great way to be able to handle that, right? It's too easy, and therefore From Software said, no! You want too easy? Screw you. So, really quick, Andrea, why don't you give your opinions on not only the stuff that you saw at BlizzCon, but also the two stories that I brought up.
Well, which one first?
Do BlizzCon.
Okay. I was just excited overall on the stuff that they announced.
Yes, because you were excited for patch 9.1.
Yeah.
Chains of Domination.
Yep, and I just got excited, you know, and
Especially since you have Shadowlands Pathfinder now.
yeah.
Except in the Maw. Some people were actually really disappointed with Ian when he said that no, the Maw will never allow flying.
Well, you don't spend that much time in the mall.
You actually spend a lot of time in the Maw. A lot of endgame is spent in the Maw.
Oh, well, I'm not there yet, so.
Yeah, like you actually have weeklies that you have to complete in the Maw.
I'm
and
only
Torghast is in the Maw.
and I'm
so.
only gotten into the second area finally, so.
Oh, good! You finally got out of the boring place.
Wasn't that boring?
Poor Bastion was boring.
Well, maybe to you, but to me it was okay.
Bastion was full of, you need to find yourself to be yourself. If I wanted to pontificate, I'd play Mists of Pandaria. But I just love that people are so mad. Like, we'll never be able to fly in the Maw? No. They made it very clear early on they didn't want you to do that. I made you wreck your throne. Oh. Oh, wrong indicator. Okay, shh.
Just dodge away. Oh! Heal, heal, heal.
Shh.
Oh!
It wouldn't have mattered because I was running low on fucking bullets.
Oh, that was a good run.
All the more reason to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
There's just too much to keep track of. Fist bump anyway, because that was actually a good run. So, all right, back to the hunter stream. Okay, so yeah, you're excited for Chains of Domination because you get new stuff to do, as well as Shadowlands Pathfinder.
Yep.
So, what do you think about the article about how the Mortal Kombat movie is leaving out Chun-Li?
I really don't care.
You're not giggling about it? Now
No.
that you know?
I really don't care about it.
Why not? It's funny.
Well, maybe to you, but to me...
It's like expecting Mario to be in the next Sonic movie. That's why it's hilarious. Okay, and then what are your thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy?
The game itself?
The fact that we shouldn't play it because a YouTuber or an anti-social justice YouTuber works on it.
Well, I wouldn't care because I would play it anyway.
Yeah, this is true. Politics will not get in the way of Andrea's desire to play a Harry Potter game.
Yep. I leave politics out of everything that I enjoy.
Oh, god damn it. We actually did have spares. But yeah, we were just running low that time. I really wish at some point we could actually increase the amount of blood vials and quicksilver bullets we can hold. Because that would be helpful, in my opinion.
You're so awesome that you can kick those guys around.
Pretty much. This is pretty much what I did to farm. Just this section. Killed these guys endlessly.
There's the
Trust me, I can do it. Oil urn. Sorry, what?
Oh, okay. I'm like, don't forget those.
Nope, I'm not forgetting. This is what I did. Back and forth the entire time. It's just like I'd get about 700 or 7,000 blood echoes, and I'd go spend it on blood vials or on quicksilver bullets. Should we do another farming run, or should we go back and try again?
Well, you want to make sure you're at least maxed on your stuff.
Well, this is going to put us max.
Okay, then I'm fine either way.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Because you like having the multiple attempts. I know my wife. I know how this works. Yeah, both are just absolutely stupid to me. But then again, the whole Gina Carano thing is just getting stupider and stupider. So, can I really blame 2021 for getting stupid? No.
I just wish
Have I told you the most recent thing? So we found out a lot about what Gina was dealing with before she got fired. One of which was after she put up the... I can't remember what it was. Somebody got mad that she didn't have gender pronouns in her Twitter bio.
And what pronouns were she?
So, if you ever see anybody on Twitter that has, a he, him, stuff like that, those are gender pronouns.
Yeah, but why does she need...
Because Disney wanted her to. Because Disney wants to be all PC. And so she didn't want to put anything like that in there because she doesn't believe in it. To which Disney got mad at her. Made her actually have to talk to a representative of the LGBTQ community. Basically go do sensitivity training is what she had to go do. And so then she decides to put up, okay, well, I'll put up pronouns. I'm going to put up beep, boop, bop. Which was her basically poking fun. Basically her poking fun at it.
Oh, brother.
Harmless. Absolutely harmless. Let me point something out really quick. This is why I don't buy into the gender pronouns argument. Because immediately this is what happens. If you do not address people by the pronouns that they have said in the bio, you have, in their words, you have threatened their life. You have threatened their life. That is the equivalent of a death threat. That I did not address them by what they wanted me to address them as. As Andrea knows, I don't address anybody by what they want. I'm kind of a universal dude. I call everybody dude. Dude. I've called you dude. I'm not by doing that, I'm not saying go kill yourself. I'm saying dude. Because that's what I've done all my life. I've said dude. So at that point, because I would not have called them that, that's the equivalent on Twitter of threatening someone's life. And the other unforgivable sin is you can't dead name a trans person. So if people wonder why when the whole Alex Maurer thing happened, why I was constantly referring to him as Alex Thomas Maurer, because here's my viewpoint, and you can love or hate me on this, I don't care. If you're a nice, respectable person, I am willing to do that for you. To a degree. If you're not, if you're being an absolute asshole and demanding, I will do the opposite. Especially when you give me the reasons of, you just threatened my life. How did I do that, Alex Thomas Maurer? Please show me how I did that, Alex Thomas Maurer. Because the reality is, I didn't do that. And you know it. So that happened, then the beep boop bop thing happened. Harmless. She wasn't trying to pick a fight or anything like that. Disney made her have to do a Zoom call with 40 members of the LGBTQ community. And the intent was basically to have all of them chastise her. Like, she can't respond. She can't do anything. Like, she's just getting scolded that entire time. And you wonder why she's pissed at you, Disney. Would you do that?
I'm pretty sure.
Honestly asking, would you... Not you, but like, Disney? Bob Iger? Would you do that? Would that be uncomfortable for you? Then what makes you think it wouldn't be uncomfortable for her? What you're basically doing is the internet equivalent of sending her into the lion's den. That would be the same equivalent of, for people who want a wrestling analogy, of when John Cena got a bad grade from the LGBTQ community because he let loose that F word. You know, the one that is British for cigarette. If Vince McMahon made him go and do that. When Vince McMahon himself didn't even at the time believe that. Like, he didn't have a problem. Okay? The only reason he cared was because that article came out where they gave John Cena a bad grade. And strangely enough, Vince never required him to apologize. I don't think. That is sending somebody into the lion's den to get ridiculed, scorned, and eaten alive. And I would also say that would also be the equivalent of basically expecting the same person amongst the 40 other mentally unstable and expecting them to survive. Crazy people are crazy people. Do you want to know why I don't do pronouns? I don't endorse mental illness. I have a long trend of that in my family. And I do not endorse actions that encourage mental illness. If you are going to come to me and say, you can only address me in this way, otherwise you're threatening to kill me, I'm going to look at you and go, I don't endorse mental illness. Here is the number of a counselor you can contact. But yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and eventually she got fired. And she didn't even get formally told by Disney she was going to get fired. She found out when all of us did.
Yeah.
She found out when the article broke. So they had no intention of calling her to tell her she was fired. Kind of makes me not want to finish The Mandalorian. It really does. Like, I haven't seen enough episodes to say whether or not I like Cara Dune, but if, like, let's just say for the sake of argument, I start liking Cara Dune, well, then I'm not going to want to finish The Mandalorian because I know that either they're going to replace her as Cara Dune, or that I'm not going to care about who's replacing Cara Dune. Hey! I hit him! Oh my gosh.
Dang.
I'd figured out, like, the ideal way to do that.
Uh-huh.
Or the one that also is driving me crazy this week is the whole Coca-Cola thing, if you guys haven't heard that. Their training videos telling them to be less white. Seriously, guys, when at what point do we actually, like, cross the line of encouraging mental illness? You know, for those of us who actually have to deal with mental illness because it's, you know, it's a family or a heretic trait, or it's a hereditary trait, or our family members dealt with it, like, we can attest. It's not fun to deal with. It's not fun in the slightest. And we wouldn't wish that on anybody. Even upon the worst of enemies, we would not wish a bad day for us in that regard. Oh my gosh, okay. It's driving me crazy. So when do we cross the line into this is just straight up encouraging you to be insane? Because I'll just be honest with the whole Gina Carano thing. That was what that was. That wasn't sensitivity training or anything like that. It was the equivalent of trying to drive Gina Carano insane through shame. I deal with mental illness. I would never wish it on anybody here. I would never wish it on my worst enemy on Twitter. Never. Ever.
I go check on the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in each other's beds.
So you mean the opposite?
Yeah. Arya is in on Melody's bed, and Melody's on Arya's bed.
Oh my gosh. I like her bed better. What happens if they unofficially just declare each other the opposite is true?
Yeah, it's possible.
Like, do we get mad at them for that?
Well, as long as they don't get mad at each other for that.
Yeah, that's kind of my viewpoint. Like, if they want it, then that's fine. I mean, there's not really a difference between the two beds, so...
Are you crazy fighting at that close at the edge?
Yes.
Ow!
Sorry, I didn't waste any bullets. Martyr, you're becoming a little bit of a problem, because now you're a legit wall, and now I kind of want you ended.
Yes, please.
Oh, my bad.
I would like to see something else besides this guy.
I know, right? I'm almost tempted to just go unlock Amygdala. We'll try Martyr another day. Even though I have no idea how to get to Amygdala. I know where to start.
Hopefully you don't have to defeat him before you can even unlock.
No, you don't. Amygdala is just off in another area of the Forbidden Woods. Not in the Castle Canehurst. I thought he was in here because of the library, but no, it's like an old university or something like that. Because as you might imagine, Amygdala is just basically a giant brain. Ah, god damn it!
How do you keep falling down?
Because my stamina runs out because they're hitting me. Just kill me.
Well, you were not being quiet. That's why they killed you.
Is this quiet?
Because we're in a library, so shh.
It's a royal library. It's the equivalent of Bell. And if you're saying that she didn't geek out in that library, you are kidding yourself. Oh, and somebody wanted to ask this. So, you've seen Mulan, right?
The cartoon?
No, the live action one.
I haven't yet, actually.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, I was gonna ask if you paid that premium.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I just waited it. I just wait until it was available for free.
Yeah, now they're talking about doing that premium for any new release movie that comes out on Disney Plus. So, like, any movie that comes out this year for Disney Plus, you have to pay $20.
I mean, I guess it's okay, you know.
I'm not for it.
You're not for it?
No. Because I'm already paying a monthly fee.
I guess that's true.
I don't, like, we weren't even paying full price for prime time when we were going to theaters.
Well, that's true.
And so what they're basically saying is you have to pay prime time seats. And I'm sorry, but no. I'm already paying for your goddamn monthly membership. Which I've strongly considered whether or not to keep paying for that. After the whole Gina Carano thing.
Then if you're going to stop it, then I might as well just start a new one. You don't have to pay for it.
I didn't say that I've gotten rid of it, but I have considered it. But, like, if you think I'm going to pay an extra $20 for a movie that's exclusive to your platform, no. I'll wait till Mulan comes out for free, but frankly, from what I hear about that movie, I don't want to see it.
Well, you don't have to. No one's forcing
No,
you.
but what I'm saying is, like, okay, so if I want to see Black Widow there, then I have to pay the $20 premium. Which, again, is stupid. Because I'm already paying your monthly membership. And I've seen numerous examples of people trying to institute this policy and it blowing up in their face, and they never did it again. One of which is Vince McMahon. Which that is probably a membership I'm going to get rid of.
Is what?
Is WWE Network. Well, because they've officially announced that Vince has sold it to Peacock, the NBC one. And so, like, WWE Network will run in that. Which I have no intention of owning Peacock. There's nothing on NBC that I want to own. That isn't being offered somewhere else that I'm already paying for.
Don't go too far in with that.
Whoa, what the hell?
Shoot him.
I am!
Okay.
That was the first time it worked. Oh, this guy's such an asshole. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to pay for Paramount Plus. So, that's a thing. I told you about that, right?
Yes, you did.
So that's basically where all of Nickelodeon stuff is going. Actually, you know what? And this sounds really, really bad. But here's the way that I would pay for Paramount Plus. You remember all those game shows that we were supposed to have offered through, I can't remember what the service was, but we never were able to access them? Of, like, Legends of the Hidden Temple and Guts and all that.
Yeah.
If Paramount Plus offered those, yeah, I might. I might pay for it. For a little while. Because that was one of the things that irritated me so much with that service. Like, the only main reason that I got that was because I wanted to see old school game shows again. Like classic Double Dare and all that stuff. And we never could. We could never watch any of it.
I hate it that you couldn't watch anything you wanted. You know?
Yeah. Because it never worked. So, if they actually offered that and they work, yeah, I'd pay for it for a couple months. I'd be like, Andrea, we're going to have this for like 3 months. Go nuts. Like, go watch all the stuff that you want to watch. And if you watched like a ton of stuff, then after the 3 months, I might consider keeping it. I'm just not looking to have a ton of streaming services.
Oh, yeah, I know.
In fact, with all of these streaming services happening right now, I am actually debating whether or not to cancel Hulu. Because pretty soon I'm wondering, like, how long is it going to be before all the stuff that we're watching on Hulu is just available on their respective streaming platforms?
Well, I would say if you can find it anywhere else, then by all means. I just don't want to get rid of it if I can't find it anywhere else.
That's true.
So that just sucks, you know?
No, that's true.
Because I hate it when things are just exclusive to something and it's like,
Crap, I just barely brought up Hulu. Now I want to go watch Yu-Gi-Oh! I brought that on myself. Thanks for my health back. I'm sorry to have Dark Souls flashbacks, Andrea.
yep.
Being stuck on those 3 in Dark Souls 2. Oh, man.
Well, at least on that one you had the hit and run tactic there.
Yeah. Well, we technically do on this one, too, because we have to do, like, 2-3 slashes and then we have to leave. Which I've been very good about. Boom.
Wow, you didn't get detected that quite fast. Until now.
Why did you jinx me?
Hey, it happened before I even spoke, so.
This is true. Actually, yeah, it is kind of true.
Oh, Melody liked those cookies you put in her cup.
Oh, did she? Mm-hmm. I just put a little bit of Cookie Crisp in there.
Mm-hmm.
Cookie Crisp.
Oh, the cereal cookie crisp.
Yeah. just try something new. We're trying to get her to try new things. I guess my only question is, was she bouncing off the walls?
No.
Okay, well, that was my worry.
What would you make you think that she would be bouncing off the wall?
Because of the sugar. Oh, jeez! I was more focused on the ball than I was on him. No, you suck!
Why don't you use two? You need more help.
Thank you for pointing out the obvious. Damn it! Okay, he went into phase 2 out of nowhere, and then when I actually tried to parry his sword, it didn't work.
Maybe we just didn't time it very well.
Probably. Alright, let's do this again. And then I actually did get a comment the other day. It was just like, wow, you guys are streaming 7 days a week. Not quite. Because not all of them are 3-hour streams. And some of them are incredibly optional. As in, if crap hits the fan, then... God damn it! Fine. Are you proud of yourself? Ha! Yeah, people got to remember, the Sunday streams that we're doing now for Drak Let Shadow are 90-minute streams. It's just that we have 2 games together that makes that 3 hours. And then the Wednesday stream that we have for Ratchet and Clank is optional. If we can make it work, we will. But it'll be like Wednesday afternoon. So, A lot of people might not be able to join us because they'll be working. But it'll also open up more audience, so I'm kind of happy about that. And who knows? Maybe, you know, like, I'm not saying that we're going to do Ratchet and Clank all the time. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll give Andrea the day off and I'll catch up on some WoW content. Or another thing that I've been strongly considering doing in honor of the fact that we have 2 new Diablo games to be excited about. They just barely released the first Diablo game on Good Old Games. Wouldn't it be cool to play that? I was like, I'll get my health back! I'll get my health back! No! He killed me! Oh, that sucked.
Ouch.
Besides, at some point, we also need to test the streaming setup for PC games. Because we have that now. I did that specifically so that we could actually have a little bit more of an indie focus. We can play on PC now, Andrea, and it works. Last time I tested it, it worked anyway. But I wasn't playing, like, overly taxing games. So yeah, don't look at it as we're streaming all 7 days. We're really not, because, you know, some of them are just not going to be as long as regular streams are, and some of them are placed so that, you know, we can actually try and reach a new audience that maybe hasn't seen us before. And as I pointed out to a few people, Thursdays are also going to be kind of amorphous. Like, there aren't... some people got the wrong idea. I'm not necessarily saying that it's always going to be just retro review stuff. I also freed it up because I wanted to be able to do things like fighting games. Or Fall Guys with you guys. Because wouldn't that be fun, to be able to play Fall Guys with you guys as well as maybe Andrea, who can be in the other room on Switch.
Well, that didn't
that was a fail run. See, that'd be fun, right? Like, I can just friend you, or put you in a party or something like that in the Switch version of Fall Guys. We can just all have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to be able to do that with the Cloud Crew streaming server that I got on in Discord, but all of them stream at times that don't work for me. It's like their prime the prime time that they all stream together is like Friday night. Well, that's not gonna work. Because the podcast, like, Friday night is when it needs to be recorded. No other day works. Which is sad, because I would love to be able to play some games with them. Like, you know, maybe play some Among Us, or Fall Guys, or even something as stupid as, like, Monopoly or Uno. I'd probably have no problem with that.
Ow.
I'm okay with it. Jeez, we have a half hour left, and I'm trying very hard to kill Martyr. I want Martyr dead. What are you listening to?
Oh, just something from YouTube. I was trying to close, or, you know, get rid of the little icon, and it turned on instead of closing it out. I'm like, yeah, gosh.
A likely story. Oh, but I also should point out, so Wednesday, if we do Ratchet and Clank, that will be YouTube only.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be able to because it's on PS3, right?
Nope. Well, I'll be fixing that, hopefully, in the next little bit. That's why I'm saying it's optional, because we will have to basically move the file to PS4 to be able to do it.
And how come we didn't do it on PS4 to begin with?
Shut up. It's not like I don't understand your logic.
Well, I don't know why you decided to do it on PS3 versus PS4 if it was available.
Because PlayStation Now didn't exist at that point.
Oh, it didn't at the time?
Nope.
Oh.
PlayStation Now is something that's been around since, I want to say 2019, and I bought that collection in 2016. So, yeah, I'm feeling kind of silly about it now, but it's just easier to stream on the PS4 than it is on the PS3.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. When was it available?
Oh, it had been out for a couple of years by the time I bought it.
The
Yes, the PS3 version. Concentrating. You know what? Yes, the PS3 version was available, I think, like 2014.
Well, yeah, but I meant what was it? The PlayStation Now?
It was like 2019.
And when did we start recording?
2020, actually.
Oh, then I don't understand why we didn't go straight to that at the beginning.
Because I didn't know if I wanted to have it.
Oh. That's what I was just trying to figure out. I'm like, unless if it was not existing.
PlayStation Now is running off of tech that I don't necessarily... And even though we have it, and we did like Metal Gear on it and things like that, I still don't entirely trust it. Because it's basically Google Stadia. Streaming games. And that tech worries me, at least a little bit, because, you know, what if you have like a bad thunderstorm? In our case, where that actually kind of F's up with our internet. So I tend to not trust that, and at that time I was strongly against doing PlayStation Now. But then we did Metal Gear, as well as Alex wanted to play Sonic. So we tried it out. It looks like it's working. I also wasn't sure if us streaming a game plus trying to run a stream ourselves, if that wasn't going to have some kind of weird issue with my PC.
Oh, that was close.
Uh-huh. I almost fell down Castlevania. There we go. Okay, here we go. Quiet time. Can you tell I'm getting tired?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm making a lot of dumb mistakes. Tell you what, if we haven't had, like, a decent run at this guy by 9:45, we might just call it.
Yeah.
We'll go to bed and we'll try this again tomorrow. Because unfortunately, we also just have to knock some of the rust off. Like, I can sit here and play, guys. I really can. Like, I can hit my head against the wall a lot. I'm just also kind of having to acknowledge limitations here. I'm tired. Plus, now we have to get up earlier on Tuesdays. Well, at least I wasn't totally up the ladder. There we go. It makes me feel bad, but again, I enjoy these games now. Mainly because of the company. And because you guys laugh at me. I don't know why. I'm sure my childhood self is, like, laughing at me now. It's like, oh, now you have no problem being made fun of. Yeah.
Well, back in the day, you were probably like...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point my 10-year-old self and me would not agree at all.
So I'm sure back in the day, you were probably like, I want to be a gamer and...
No, actually I didn't.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean,
It was a weird deal, but, like, as a kid, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. It's like, you know, there's no such thing as playing video games for a living.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I never looked at it. I'm that weird kid in the group who's just like, no, there's no such thing as being able to play video games for a living.
Well, I didn't mean like that. I meant you would think you, like, I want to be, like, really good and, you know, act like you're, like, the best gamer in the world or something.
That's mostly from other people inflating my ego than anything else. Now I just kind of buy it because it's not necessarily that I'm a pro gamer, it's because I have experience. What I meant was more like, you know, my 10-year-old self and me would probably disagree heavily on things like bullying.
Can we just kick this guy off?
Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome. That would be funny if he actually somehow glitched himself off the edge and died and then
I dashed. Everybody, you saw it. No, I don't. Stop spamming my chat.
I'm gonna put the girls to bed.
You're fine. Okay, we're gonna do one more attempt, guys, and then my brain's just not there. At that point, I have to acknowledge limitations. Also, if people want to put in the comments, like, if you actually can increase the amount of active blood vials and Quicksilver bullets you can have, I would love to know that. Because that's also one of my biggest problems right now, is being able to time this out with 20. And to a lot of people that might seem like a lot, but not in this game. Oh, you make me want to murder somebody. Okay. Okay. Alright, guys, we're going to do one more. Super quiet. And we'll see if I can concentrate enough to down the guy. If not, we're coming at this guy fresh tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not there, guys. My brain is fried.
Well, we made a good attempt, so
Yeah. Well, and also we had a butt ton of rust to kick off, so I'm
hopefully
at least happy that we did that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it there. We're 15 minutes early, but I honestly don't think one more attempt is gonna do it. So when we come back tomorrow, we will be doing more Bloodborne. Maybe what we'll do is, if we still don't have any luck with Martyr, we'll go out and try and unlock Amygdala. and go do another boss, because I know that a few people are getting a little irritated that I'm just focusing on one boss. The only reason I'm doing that is because I'm just one-track mind kind of guy. So, when we come back, that's what the plan is. Until then, have a good night, and we will see you guys then.
Good night.